Welcome to Gentle Yoga for All Levels. This morning, we are practicing with the chakras in mind. Raise your hand if you know about the chakras, those of you on screen. Okay, good. So I'm talking to, for the most part, people that kind of know about this. So for future viewers, chakras are energy centers of the body. And this can be where yoga goes down that woo-woo rabbit hole. But it can also be a really great tool to help us just learn to be in better communication with our body. So I'm using this book this morning. It's called Your Body Speaks Your Mind. The author is Deb Shapiro. And she calls this book Learning to Interpret Your Body's Language of Symptoms. And I just think that's really beautiful. So she's going to point us to anywhere in our body where we're feeling injury, dis-ease, pain, disruption of health as our bodies attempt to get our attention. And then we look to these energy centers as ways to kind of start our healing process. So we'll start at the ground and we'll make our way to the crown in this practice. So the first thing I'd like you to do is find a seat on the ground. And knowing that some of us are more comfortable sitting on a cushion or a firm pillow, you can go ahead and do that. And a chair will work as well, but I'd like you to get this sense of earth beneath you. And if you can, actually bring your hands to touch the floor so that you have this sense of being grounded, of being on the earth. When you find your seat, close your eyes and start to take some deep breaths. And I'm going to get some quiet music going in the background. So we start our practice today with paying attention to the root chakra. The root chakra, you can imagine the base of the pelvis, the pelvic floor, this nerve bundle that comes off the spine and feeds down into the legs, the knees, and the feet. So as you're sitting here and you're feeling the earth beneath you, just be aware of the lower half of your body, really, from the top of your legs down. And just notice if there's any part of your body here that is inflamed or injured or just otherwise asking for your attention. And allow your attention to travel there as you deepen your breath. Demonstrating a willingness to listen to the wisdom of your body. Let's bring our hands to the front of our knees and we'll start a really slow cat and cow. So just starting here to move with your breath, and even though you're moving your spine, stay aware of the pelvic floor and that rocking to the front of your sitting bones and back. As we move through these centers, I'd like to read to you a little, some little thoughts about these subtle body energy systems. This root chakra has to do with basic instinctive qualities of survival, security, trust, and self-protection. Start to stir your torso in a small circle, but staying aware of your pelvis moving on the floor. Root chakra is connected to your history and ancestral energy. The sense of belonging to a particular family and having a valid place in the world. Reverse that circle. When this chakra is activated or awakened, you can meet survival challenges with optimism and creativity. Your attitude will be one of trust in the world and acceptance of others. You will feel secure or rooted with a strong desire for life. Lift a tall spine and then twist to your right. Pause here for a few breaths, just feeling those roots growing down into the earth, lifting through the crown of the head, and just feel this I am grounded energy. Secure here. I have a place in the world, and I'm right where I am supposed to be. Switch sides, come across the opposite way, rooting down through the hips, lifting tall through the crown. Tapping into this center of survival, instinct, protection. Coming back to center, let's bring our knees up and we'll come around into child's pose, another root chakra posture. Touch your big toes together, widen your knees, and drop your hips backward. You can use props under your hips or under your head, but get yourself grounded here. Maybe put the elbows down on the ground. Get as much of your body on earth as you can. And notice this, it's the heavy energy of the root chakra. If the energy is inactive, then your consciousness will cower in the face of difficulties. And you might rely on others to solve your problems. You will fear being able to provide either financially or emotionally. There can be suspicion, paranoia, greed, and an I come first attitude. There may also be a fear of not belonging, of having no support, no safety. So noticing breath in the back of the body, bring yourself up to tabletop. Draw your knees in a little closer and let's start to put some movement through the hips. Inhale into cow and exhale into cat. The antidote for that kind of feeling too grounded or too stuck, afraid, is to start to move up the chakra system and start to tap into the energies above. So we're moving now into the sacral chakra, this energy center that sits just below the navel, the low belly, the sacrum, the lowest part of the spine. Coming to neutral, shift your hips side to side. And just notice this part of the body. Are there any areas of pain, of discomfort? Are there issues here? This includes the genitals, the reproductive organs, SI joint, tailbone, outer hips. So as you're moving around in this area, the property of this chakra is water. Reach your hands forward and come into a kneeling plank pose. Let your hips drop down like a hammock and raise your chin and chest. Shift your body from side to side there and just feel that opening in the front of your low belly across your hip flexors. And then reach your hips over to the right. Press back into your child's pose. And we'll do that again. Inhale forward into kneeling plank. Come down like you're in a hammock. Drop your hips, and then hips reach to the left side and back over your heels. Move with your breath. You're drawing a heart with your hips. See if you can find the farthest edge of this movement, the biggest heart you can draw. When you've evened that out one more time, friends, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and come into downward facing dog, continuing to explore this movement, this creativity of the sacral chakra. And as you're moving through downward facing dog, shifting your hips side to side. Go ahead and walk your feet to meet your hands. And come into a ragdoll, softening your knees. We're going to hang here for just a few moments and see if you can feel that lowest part of the back. As you roll your torso from side to side, feeling the outer edges of the hips, the crease in the front of the hips. And allow your fingertips to come to the floor. Step the left foot back, drop the left knee, and slowly reach your arms up into a kneeling lunge. And then lower down, tuck your toes, and switch feet. Left foot forward, right foot back, drop the knee, and reach up into that kneeling lunge. And we're going to do that back and forth a few times, keeping our attention on this sacral area, the low belly. Alternating knees down, arms up. Starting to hear the sound of your own breath. Make this movement as smooth as you can, like water. Notice the places where you get stuck and rigid, and just smooth the edges there. Move a little more softly. We'll do that one more time on each side. Really beautiful, everybody. Body's building heat, but we're focused on the low belly, low back. As your back foot meets your front foot, evened out on both sides, press hands to shins, lift and lengthen. And feel the low belly hugging in a little more firmly than normal. Put a bigger bend in your knees, press on your shins, lengthen the spine even more. Shift the hips from side to side. And then with feet on the earth, let's sweep the arms up high, extended mountain. Take your feet a little bit wider, maybe hips distance apart. And as we exhale, drop your left hand, reach your right. We're gonna let the hips pop out to the side a little bit this time, keeping attention down here around those outer hips. If that hurts your back, bring a hand to the hip. And then lift to switch. And we'll start to move like that with our breath, side to side. Just pressing the hip out, reaching the arm up. The style of yoga that most of you are used to practicing with me is called vinyasa. It's flow, and it's very much sacral chakra yoga. Flow with breath. To heal issues of this chakra, it's prescribed that we spend more time in and around water and also dancing. Bring your hands to your hips, and we're just going to do hip circles. So soften your knees and stir the pot. And notice again those places that feel stuck, rigid, resistant. Slow down and soften those edges. And go the other way. This chakra is about being mobile, about flowing through life with grace and ease, being creative, getting unstuck, change. We're going to come back to standing and just start a very gentle sway, twisting side to side. This will bring our attention up to the third chakra, the solar plexus. And this is our inner sun. Just above the navel, you can imagine this bright yellow light burning inside of you. This is our center of will, of determination. This is where we have gut instincts. People will call this part of the body the second brain. So we're going to start to build a little more fire. I'd like you to inhale on one side, exhale on the other, a little bit forcefully. You can make the H sound, the SH, or you might even say something out loud like ha. Thinking of the center, the middle of you, where the heat is. Reverse the breath now. Inhale on the opposite side. Your hands are tapping you either on your shoulders or your hips or your middle back. It's building heat, noticing how it feels to move from the center. And slowly taper back to center. Feet are still wide. Take a deep breath in. Turn your toes to the corners and squat into goddess. And we'll do that with our breath. Inhale up, exhale down. So the property here is fire. We're building fire. We're strengthening our ability to say yes when we mean yes and no when we mean no. To live out loud from this sense of self, of independence, of inner strength. So the way our body gets our attention here is typically with digestive issues, gut issues, and also middle to lower back issues. 2 more. And then reach the arms up high, 5-pointed star, stretch out, feel that center of you. And as we bring the hands back to heart center, we'll come into mountain pose for sun salutation. This is definitely solar plexus work, building the fire. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Keeping your core strong, plank pose, knees or toes. Lower halfway down. And as you inhale, feel your belly press forward. Shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, down dog. And here in down dog, root your heels. Lift your hips. Feel that center of you, that fire in the middle. I am. I will. Place of power. Look forward, feet meet hands, lift halfway, and give a big exhale to forward fold. Inhale, arms scoop up high. Find a back bend that lets your belly shine forward. And bring your hands to your heart. When we're afraid, we get butterflies, we get nervous stomach. So just an indication of where this power is in our bodies. Let's go again. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Come into plank pose, knees or toes, and lower halfway. Rise up, cobra or up dog, and exhale back, down dog. Low belly firm, sitting bones high. Feel that space around your waist. Bring your feet to your hands, lift halfway, and exhale, fold. Arms reach high, extended mountain. Again, a little back bend, let your belly reach forward. Let your rib cage lift, open that space. And exhale, hands to heart. One more time, building the fire. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway and exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take another vinyasa here, knees or toes. Halfway down, and then rise to let your belly extend. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here, friends. Looking forward, feet to hands, lift halfway, and exhale, forward fold. With a bend in the knees, arms reach high, find your little back bend, and bring your hands to your heart. Pause here for just a moment. Let's retrace. So rooted down, root chakra. Flowy and loose and ready to just move through life with a sacral chakra. And firm in our resolve, clear about our personal intentions, trusting our own gut instincts. We can now move up to the heart chakra, which is our center of connection with each other. So imagine a green light behind your sternum, like a new plant growing. Inhale, your arms open. And exhale, your hands together. Start to move with your breath here, paying attention to the space around the heart. We're going to add chair to this. So your inhale, open in your back bend. Exhale, sink down into chair. Inhale, open. Exhale, chair. So the heart chakra governs shoulders, arms, hands, lungs, ribs, upper back, and chest. So this year has been a difficult year for this part of our body. Breathing has been an issue for a lot of people this year, respiratory issues. I can't breathe. The inability to touch and hug other human beings. Coming out of this year with our heart chakras in much need of healing. Inhale to open your wingspan wider, and exhale to sink lower. Ujjayi breath. Let's bring in that pranayama that heals, that cleanses, that rinses out. Take another deep breath, arms sweep high, all the way up to extended mountain. Hands meet, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to keep our attention now in the heart area. So on your inhale, pull your shoulders forward. And on your exhale, press your chest down, like your head is trying to touch the mat. Inhale, round forward. Exhale, chest and head down. One more time. If you'd like, you can take a vinyasa. And when you're ready, we'll raise the right leg high. Circle the ankle, wiggle the toes. And exhale, draw your knee up under your chest. Set the foot on the floor. Back toes stay tucked. We'll plant the left hand on the earth and we'll circle the right arm. So moving through the twist, reach behind you as far as you can and dive down again. Moving with your breath. Opening ourselves back up to physical proximity to other people, to touch, to embrace, to be with each other again. As that hand touches the floor, come onto all 10 fingertips and drop your back heel. Rise up slowly, warrior one. Take a deep breath as arms pass through center, up high. Arms come behind, interlace the fingers, open the chest. Pause here. Shoulders hug onto the back, heart open. Deep breath. Ready for spring, for change, for old relationships rekindled and new relationships started. Sweep your arms slowly high and let your hands touch the ground in downward facing dog. And let's float again. Heart pulls forward and presses back. Heart pulls forward and presses back. If you'd like to take a vinyasa here, you're welcome to. And when you're ready, raise your left leg, circle the ankle, wiggle the toes. Draw the foot underneath the chest and down in front of you. And we'll stay on our back toes. We'll create this twist. Right hand down, left arm begins its journey around. Noticing again any tightness, injury, restriction, pain, dis-ease. Just viewing that as your body asking for your attention. And we're here today to listen. Listen to the wisdom here that might have been trying to get our attention for a long time. One more sweep around, big slow circle. Good, you guys bring all 10 fingers to the mat. Drop the back heel and come up, warrior one, nice and slow. Float the arms. As the arms open down and back. And grab a strap here if that doesn't feel great, or your hands. Fold your shoulder blades onto your back, reach your knuckles down, take deep breaths. Relax up through your collarbones, the outer edges of your shoulders. Open. Release the hands, arms come high. And on an exhale, hands to mat, downward facing dog. If you'd like another vinyasa, it's here. And then we'll move into puppy pose, which is a deep heart opener. So for puppy pose, lower your knees and stack your hips up over your knees. Walk your hands forward. If you're extra tight through the shoulders, you could put your head on a block, but the hips are going to stay lifted. Fingers walk forward as far as they can. And if you're a little more bendy through the shoulders, you might be able to put your chin on the mat. Take deep breaths here and just feel this space, this opening, this possibility of growth, of new life. To come out of puppy pose, lift your head, walk your hands back. Drop your elbows to the mat and just pause here for a moment. Elbows under shoulders. Lift and lower your chin. Circle your neck a bit. And we'll start to bring our awareness to the fifth chakra, the throat. This is where we speak our truth. This is where we share with each other through words. You can stay here, or if you'd like a little more of a challenging pose, tuck your toes, lift your hips into dolphin, but keep your head off the ground and just keep dangling and kind of shaking out through the neck. And then let's all have our knees on the ground and we'll bring ourselves up to a tabletop position. Let's step the right foot forward. And we'll stay on the back knee, pressing ourselves up to a high lunge. We're going to bring the arms up high, interlace the fingers, point to the ceiling. And then as much as possible, bring your arms back to where you feel a lot of length and space through the torso, through the chest. If that doesn't feel good, bend your elbows a little bit, create a little more of that shape. And then here, drop your chin to your chest and lift your chin to the ceiling. Drop your chin and lift your chin. Paying attention to what needs to be said, what words need to find their way from your heart through this channel of the throat chakra and out into the world. And maybe they're not words, maybe they're images or expressions of your voice. Bring your hands to your heart. Let the hands come to the floor, tuck the back toes, and then we'll launch ourselves up into a balancing pose, a 3-point balance. And if this is okay, if this is comfortable for you, drop your head, lift your leg. Coming upside down, and again, just loose, kind of shake out your neck. No tension there, just nice and loose as we get blood flow to the brain. And release that foot to the floor. Walk your hands through the center. Toes can turn slightly out, and we're just going to bend and straighten the knees. And keep your back flat. Just bend and straighten your knees through the center. You might lunge side to side, lifting and lowering. And turning toward the back of your mat. Let's drop the back knee. Use this front knee to help us come up. Arms reach overhead. Pointer fingers lift. So again, if you need to keep your elbows bent to protect your shoulders, that's just fine. Arms come back as far as you can without pain. And then flexion and extension of the neck, chin to chest, chin lifted. Move with your breath. And neck neutral, release your hands. Fingertips come to the mat. Tuck the back toes and lift into 3-point balance. And then if you're comfortable, drop your head, lift your leg a bit more. And just loosen up, turn side to side. Just let your neck be dangly and loose. You're unclogging that drain, unlocking that place that's not allowing us to speak what is true for us. And let's drop that foot back to the floor. Come to your wide straddle. And this time, let your head hang toward the floor. We'll bring our hands up to our neck and use your hands to give yourself a little neck massage, especially in the back of the neck. Those cords of muscle that are pretty tight on most of us. When we look at the back of the neck, we can reflect on what didn't get said in the past, what didn't get expressed. And we start doing our own work and we realize it's never too late to take charge of our own healing and our own path. Bring your hands to the mat, lift and lengthen, and let's take a twist here. Right hand under the face, left hand on your sacrum, open up toward the left side and let your head turn all the way as far as it will. Come back to center and switch. Spine rotates, the neck is the last to go. Do that again, both directions. And coming back down, let's walk our hands toward the front of our mat once again. Meet me in either down dog or child's pose. Those of you that love vinyasa, take one more here. And then we'll all drop our knees to the mat. Let your elbows come down once again, and we're going to do a very modified version of headstand as we start to bring our awareness to the 6th chakra or the 3rd eye. So you can interlace your fingers, place your head on the mat, hands snuggle in to kind of cradle the back of the head, and we're just going to be right here in this easy modified version of headstand. If you do have a headstand practice, you're welcome to tuck your toes and lift slowly up into a full headstand. But for today, feel that gentle pressure on your head. Close your eyes. And from inside, look toward the inside of your forehead. This is our center of intuition. This is the place where we know truth without language. An all-encompassing capital K knowing. My whole body knows, my soul knows. When we tap into this part of us, we start to trust our own intuition. We trust this knowing. Release your head, just press up onto your forearms, hands come to the ground, and then place your third eye, that brow point, directly on the floor. So right there on the floor. And then start to roll, almost as if you were going to do a somersault. So you're going to roll to the top of your head and roll back to that brow point. It's a pretty small movement. You'll feel a stretch in the back of your neck. You got some weight in your hands. Just go easy here. Just a little bit of massage across that forehead. And as you feel the pressure on the forehead, just let your head roll a little bit side to side. It's like you're massaging from eyebrow to eyebrow on the floor or on a block. And then pause, press yourself up to sitting. Legs crossed in easy seat. You can sit on a block or bolster if you like. But bring your hands together and we're going to rub our hands vigorously, creating some heat. Make the hands really hot. You might even kind of go to the inner pinky finger side and just make your hands super hot, super warm. And then place those warm hands over your eyes. You don't need to press into your eyes, but just till your face, your eyes feel this heat. And sense the darkness. Pause here to feel the ground beneath you. Your sense of creativity and flow with life. Your inner strength, your power, your open heart, your connection to other beings, your ability to speak truth clearly from a place of love and compassion and great intentions. And this inner knowing, this intuition that you can trust, your inner guide, your compass. Let your hands come down to your legs and just use your hands to draw knees in, roll onto your back. And here on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Make any movement you like, massaging and stretching across the back. Planting the feet on the earth and lifting the hips up into bridge. We'll come into this gentle inversion. So you're welcome to slide something under your hips or bring your arms underneath you, opening through the chest. Feet rooted, hips open, belly expanded, heart expanded. Lift your chin. Feel the space, the warmth, the colors in your body. And then slowly release your hips. Arms peel out into a T. Let your pinky toes feel the edges of your mat as you windshield wiper your legs back and forth, side to side. So the work of the chakras is that this energy can get stagnant. So a practice like this, starting at the base and working all the way up through the crown, just helps us move that energy upward, going from that place of being earthbound and stuck to a place of being boundless and free. So we'll take a couple of minutes to rest in Shavasana, and then we'll end with a crown chakra meditation. So when you're ready, slow the movement, extend your legs, and allow yourself to rest here on your back. As you're laying here, just being aware of your breath. Just observe again any part of your body that seems to be asking for your attention. Let your awareness rest there for these few moments. Let's take a deeper breath. And on the exhale, let's wiggle the fingers and the toes. Make the movement as gentle as possible as you return to a seat. And as soon as you find your seat, close your eyes. Connect with your breath. Bring your hands to your legs and press down on the legs, feeling this sense of being grounded, safe, stable, rooted here. Let your hands come to the outer hips and just move a little bit until you just are aware of the just kind of the ease of movement that we have, the flow. Bring your hands to your belly and take one deep, fiery breath. Let your hands come to heart center and then inhale, open. Feeling that space again around the heart. Fingertips reach out wide to the sides. And then softly settle your hands on your legs. Draw your chin to your chest and feel the length in the back of your neck. Take a deep breath in. And then the chin comes level with an H sound to exhale. Bring your hands together, thumbs touching third eye, the center of intuition and knowing. And then let your wrists stay together, but open your fingers like a lotus, thumbs touching, pinky fingers touching, fingers spread wide open. The symbol of the lotus is the symbol of one who has risen from darkness, has emerged into the light. Imagine a beautiful lotus on top of your head, this seventh chakra, which is our spiritual connection. When we're connected to this chakra, our personal desires are purified and all activity becomes selfless. This is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of the real journey of the emergence of the true human. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, this gesture of gratitude. Thank you for taking this colorful journey with me today through these 7 energy centers of your body. I hope that there were 1 or 2 points where questions came up for you and you became curious about this teacher called your body. I would suggest that you spend a few minutes now journaling about anything that came up and questions that you have, and ask your body, because your body knows the answers. Have a beautiful day, friends. Namaste.